some of us have visit Hungary from time to time, and we speak to from taxi drivers to the average Joe, storekeepers, and there is no fear. The press is free. We see all the opposition papers being published. The government is being attacked on television regularly, and nobody is being put in jail. You may be one of the very few exceptions. I think the problem is, and quoting the European Commission as well, the OECD, which apparently very strongly attacked or sort of disallowed the last two elections. I'm not even speaking about the municipal elections where Mr. Orbán won again handily. But I think the problem is that I think you people have a very difficult time in accepting that a central right government, not a right wing, as the law would call it in Europe, has democratically elected twice and third time Orbán during municipal elections. I speak to taxi drivers. I'm repeating myself, and this is a lot of hogwash that you're telling us about being persecuted. I'm sorry to say that. And you mentioned, by the way, a very important point that Mr. Orbán undemocratically changed the constitution. What constitution did he change? He changed the constitution, which was the old Stalinist imposed constitution. Nobody talks about that.
I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it for you, okay?
Exactly.
I'll talk about it for you.
Pardon me?
I'll talk about it for you.
I'm just saying that.
I'll talk about it for you.
that
I'll go back, okay? I'll talk about it for you. The Constitution of Hungary that was changed in 2011 is a constitution that was revised in 1989 by the one-party state that was still in place at that point. And that constitutional revision was approved by your friend, Mr. Orbán, in 1989. It was part of the constitutional... Well, the party that everybody loves in Hungary, according to you. Okay, and you love him.
Not everybody.
Well, not everybody. Okay, whatever. Not two-thirds, because listen, two-thirds have not voted for the Hungarian government.
Well, certainly they have.
What kind of a lie is that? Look, that's nonsense.
When voter turnout's 20-something%, that's a big word.
Listen, of the people who voted, the Hungarian government admits that those people who actually went out to vote, they only got 44%. But there are a lot of people who didn't turn out to vote. So
but
those...
isn't that the case in every country?
Of course it is. I'm just telling you. But I'm telling you, don't say two-thirds of Hungarians voted for the government.
Well,
because that's a lie.
Why didn't your buddies go out and vote? They had a chance.
Because the alternatives are shitty. That's why. Because the opposition is bad, disorganized, and the ruling government is corrupt. It's as simple as that. That's why I'm not supportive of the opposition party. I think they stink. I think they should be put out to pasture. I'm not a socialist party supporter. I've written many articles about that.
You mentioned that Hungary was not a democracy.
It's not a democracy.
1990. I don't quite agree with you. And
I know.
You kept very silent in your presentation about the period of from 1990 to the first victory of Orbán. You never mentioned anything. In your letter, you talk about the terrible Hungarian corruption and all the various elements who ruled the country, but you never had the decency of mentioning the incredible corruption which...
Publicly, there are a number of articles where I talk about the corruption of the previous government.
Himself, Mr. Gyurcsány and his buddies, officially
they were corrupt too.
Television that they lied to the country. So, but you never mention these things. You always...
Well, I can't repeat myself 15,000 times because I'm not going to be published. I've mentioned it many times that the previous government was corrupt.
You vilify Orbán, he's your whipping boy, just because
whipping boy?
Just because he happens to have fought
My whipping
for
boy.
He's a center-right government.
I'm not a
And he's not
whipper.
right-wing.
So we have time for just one more question, one last question. Sorry, one last question. Do we have one over here, Tom? Oh,
Maybe can
yes,
you
sir.
tell us a bit about what is the Orban said something about illiberal. They want
Yeah,
to be
illiberal.
aligned with the
Good point.
illiberals. Can you
Yeah.
tell us what it was he was
Are
talking
you
about?
asking me or asking
I'm
you?
asking you.
Okay.
It was on one of my questions, by the way.
Okay. So what the question is it refers to an announcement that Mr. Orban made on June the 29th in Romania in front of a very supportive audience, in which he said that the world has changed, the world is different now than it was prior to 2008, and that in order to make Hungary successful, Hungary is going to look towards a different model of governance than the one that it has been following previously, and it's going to follow and redesign the Hungarian state according to the illiberal model. The illiberal model that he wants to redesign it, and he gave examples, is China and Russia. He used these two countries, plus a couple of other ones, as his examples of illiberal states that he wants Hungary to follow, because in his view, these are successful countries.
I would be very surprised if this was true.
I'll send me your email. I'll send you the
Very surprised.
video YouTube speech where you can hear it from him, word for word. I told you that one of the things as a human rights activist I do is I make sure that I tell the truth.
And it sounds like,
you can hear it
sounds like
yourself.
Justin
China,
Trudeau.
Russia.
And it sounds
China,
like
Russia.
Justin Trudeau. Who said it's very something.
China, Russia. He said China, Russia, illiberal state, meaning that the kind of governance that we have. And he said, and he said, well, what does this mean? To get back to your question, what does this mean? This is what he said, and this is what autocracy is about. He said, I can't tell you what this means. Just watch it. Anything can happen. This is what he said. It's on the tape. You can see. You can hear
I
it.
take exception to the fact that
We're running out of time. I'm sorry to interrupt.
you made yourself sound as a political prisoner.
I didn't. I'm not a political prisoner. I'm a free man.
You made it sound that they
I'm a free man. I'm a free man.
No, but in Hungary you had to leave Hungary because
Oh, I'm 134th on a death list. What would you do if you were there? Would you stick around or ask for a promotion, move me up to number one? I'm very unhappy. You know, I'd much rather be higher up on the list. I thought, you know, I'm pretty back
I found
down.
that very
Yeah,
much.
you went over that.
You are on a death list?
So we're gonna have to end it right here. I'm sorry, Mr. Gollner. I know that the death list is
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
For anyone who's interested, we have a mailing list for JHR that you can sign up for. I have a notebook that you can sign it on. And come around and talk to anyone from the board. Buy some more drinks if you'd like.